up, y'all? It's Timmy with Full Send Alaskan Overland, and today I want to review the Cooper Discoverer AT3 XLT tires that I've had on my rig for a couple years now, and let you know what my thoughts are. Welcome to Truck House Life, baby. Out here in the lovely Turnagain Arm, and I figured what better place to show you these tires. So these are the Cooper AT3 XLT tires. These are 35 by 12.5 by 16, so pretty big tires. So at this point I've put 22,000 miles in these tires. I don't have a tread depth reader with me. There's a lot of tread left. The height of my fingernail all the way down in there, and my fingernail is covered, so there's still a ton of tread left for having 22,000 miles. Not only have I put 22,000 miles on these tires, I've put 22,000 miles on these tires with a 10,000 pound truck. So that's pretty impressive. I've only rotated these tires one time. They're doing great still. So pretty impressed. One thing I really do like about the Cooper AT3 tires are these water grooves right here. When you're driving through really deep puddles in the road, stuff like that, it displaces water pretty well for an all-terrain tire. And if you guys notice, there's these little cutouts on the inside of the tread blocks. They're called whisper grooves. And this tire, I have been really impressed with how quiet this thing is. For such a large tire, it's the quietest 35-inch tire I've ever driven on. Really smooth on the road. Obviously, you're giving up a little bit of traction off-road because the tread blocks are really close to each other, so there's not as much noise. But they also last longer and wear slower because of the tread block spacing. It's just tighter. They're siped pretty well. If you guys notice, these sipes, they pretty much all run horizontal. If you notice a lot of full-on snow-rated all-terrain tires, the sipes will run all kinds of different directions, as well as the tread blocks. So if you're looking for a sole winter tire for ice grip, this probably isn't the best tire. I'm happy enough with it. But I'll probably go with a full-on all-terrain tire for my next tire. Another thing I really liked about these Coopers, if you get the AT3, the XLT version is basically a more extreme sidewall. So it has these little side-biting lugs. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's enough where it's rough, you know? So if you get down in a rut or if you're aired down, those little lugs will help you kind of pull through ditches and ravines and just ruts in the road. So the rubber compound in these Discoverer AT3s is supposed to be one of the longest wearing rubber compounds out there, especially for heavy trucks like this. As I've talked about before, I put 22,000 miles on these tires, and like I said, they're wearing out nice and slowly. I'd say I have at least another 15 to 20,000 to go, if not longer. I've been very impressed as far as the wear with these tires. The compound that the Cooper Discoverers use is still fairly soft and sticky, but it's definitely not as soft as like a BF Goodrich KO2 or a Toyo AT3, a tire like that. Snow and ice traction. These things do pretty well. They're not gonna be as good as a full-on all-terrain tire or a winter or studded tire, but I've had them on this truck 2 years, and I've been pulling snow machines and trailers, and I've had to winch out of a couple parking lots, but overall, I've been really impressed with their winter performance for such a smooth riding tire. As you guys can tell, they look pretty good too, so that's always nice. Got like a pretty rugged look to them, but a really smooth ride, so it's a great trade-off. Now, they're not the cheapest tires you can buy, but they're also not the most expensive. If you're looking for a tire kind of in the average price range, this is a really good option. If I can think of any complaints at all, I have one complaint. So when I drive gravel roads and dirt roads, I've noticed that because of this tight tread block spacing. Pebbles and boulders and rocks get stuck in these really often. So as you can see, you guys can see that pebble right there and right there and right there and all those little guys. So right there. So as you guys can tell, if you're going to be driving a lot of dirt roads, you are going to get a lot of rocks stuck in these tires, which is a little annoying, but it's not a deal breaker. And if you're looking to never get rocks stuck in your tires, you could always get mud tires, but then you're going to hate driving them in the highway. One thing I've really loved is how quiet these tires are on the highway. I can not hear them at all. And granted, I'm driving a Power Stroke diesel, which is one of the loudest engines ever made, as far as I'm concerned. They're really pretty quiet. You don't hear them. There's no drone or whoop, whoop, whoop. There's no noises like that like you get with a mud tire. So there's not many tires out there that are recommended for really heavy trucks. And these Cooper AT3s are one of those tires. So that's one of the main reasons I went with them. I've got this essentially a 1,700 pound camper on the back of this really heavy truck all the time. So I did not want my tire to wear down super fast, and I didn't want the rubber to be too soft. So these are a great compromise if you're driving a heavier rig, heavier van, heavier truck, stuff like that. All right, and probably the question most of you want to know, would I buy them again? The answer is yes, I would buy these tires again. I'm actually getting larger tires, and they don't make these in the larger size like I'm getting, so I can't get them again. But if I was gonna buy another tire that would be smooth and quiet on the road, acceptable enough off-road, decent enough winter traction, I would actually recommend these tires. I've been happy with them. I've owned lots of tires. I've owned BF Goodrich, I've owned Toyos, I've owned Gladiators, Michelins. I've owned a lot of tires over the years, and I've been, as far as wear, I've been more impressed with these tires than any other tire I've ever owned, hands down, for sure. So if you're trying to stay in it for the long haul, get nice wear, I'd highly recommend these. Well, that's a wrap, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. That way you can stay tuned for more tech reviews, item reviews, adventures, and whatnot. That's about it. See you next time.